my name is Lauren Powell, and I'm doing sociology. And just for those of you that don't know, sociology is the study of society. And I can hear it echoing around the room. People are thinking, studying society? I do that every day. Well, you and every taxi driver I've ever met. But the difference between you and me is that I went to university for 10 years to learn how to think like a sociologist. And, just because you can draw a house doesn't make you an architect. Just because you can take a photo does not make you a photographer. And just because you go through your boyfriend's phone, it doesn't make you a spy. Apparently it makes you mental. That's a story for another time. But to be a sociologist, it warps the way you think about things. I can't even log on to Facebook without thinking, wow, this has really changed the idea, the very nature of friendship. It's completely altered our ideas of networks. And I look at photos of my friends and I think, are these photos of my friends having fun? Or is this part of the whole conspicuous consumption and the society of spectacle? And I look every time someone changes their relationship status and I think to myself, never last. But like I say, it's ruined almost everything for me. I can't watch TV now. I can't turn on a TV programme without thinking to myself, what does this programme tell us about the society that it was filmed for? What's the ethnicity of the characters? What is their gender? What is their sexuality? What does this story tell us about us? For example, characters who commit adultery never works out well for them, ever. It's always a gory end for them. So that tells us that we think honesty is good, infidelity is bad, retribution is amazing. But honestly, I've had to stop watching EastEnders because it's shit. Really kidding, I fucking love EastEnders. Did you see the wedding last night? Sorry. Calm myself a bit. But speaking of ridiculous high drama, I want to tell you about one of my friends phoning me up the other week. She phoned me up and she was sobbing. She was distraught. She was really upset. And as it turns out, she lost her cat. Oh, I know. Come on, oh. She was really upset, So I did what any good friend would do. Grabbed a bottle of wine and went round there to help her look. We spent ages looking high and low for this cat, in people's gardens, under people's cars, calling the cat's names, Oh, yeah. Anyway, calling the cat's name, come here, Precious! Who calls their cat Precious? Honestly. But we couldn't find this cat, long story short, could not find this cat for, no matter how much we tried. So we went home, we busted out the wine. And, as I was pouring a glass of wine, I looked at her and said, look, if it makes you feel any better. And she said, Lauren, let me stop you there. The next words out of your mouth are something about the pet owner, the sociology of the pet-owner relationship, or that keeping pets is part of the conspicuous consumption of capitalism. Do not say it to me. No, it will not make me feel any better at all. I was like, I was going to say that. But I finished my wine and I left, my feelings a bit hurt. But coincidentally, I found Precious on my way home. And it was really good. That's quite sad because I haven't spoken to my friend since. But on the upswing, I have a new cat! But on to my research, I'm really interested in how spaces become places through use, rather than through architecture or urban design or street furniture or anything like that. And I study public spaces in Newcastle upon Tyne, coincidentally. We're really blessed. We've got places like Old Elgin Square, which, lots of people do lots of different things together. There's the Big Market, or as I like to call it, Emily's Research. And we also have Charlotte Square. I don't know if you guys know Charlotte Square. You've probably walked past it, you can probably visualise it, but don't know where it is. But if you were a homeless alcoholic, you would know exactly where it was. It is a prime drinking location. Anyway, it's quite nice. It's got a nice grassy area, some little benches around the outside, lots of bins to avoid putting your empties into. But whilst I was spending my time piloting my research there last summer, I met a lot of really interesting people. And one particular woman came up to me and started telling me the story of how she'd become a homeless alcoholic. And it was, once again, another pretty sad story. It was really quite grim. It was full of how she'd escaped domestic violence, how she'd do basically a story of poverty and addiction and all sorts of really just the most heartbreaking stuff. And I thought to myself, wow, this is why I became a sociologist, to give a voice to women like this woman. Why study society if you can't make it better? And I'm so privileged. I'm so privileged in middle class, and this woman blows my mind. And I can't help but really respect her struggle. And in what I can only describe as a massive gesture of pure generosity on her part, she handed me her bottle of White Lightning and said, "Go on, take a drink." And I was like, no. And as it turns out, 10 years of studying sociology does not wipe out 30 years of living in Jesmond. But also, I think it might be a slippery slope kind of thing, because I went home and drank a whole bottle of mouthwash. But before I go, I do want to leave you with my proudest moment since starting university. It's something I've been working on for quite some time, and it did take a lot of blood, sweat and tears. And it came to me like as a lightning bolt moment, like after an all-nighter. It took a lot of time at the computer and a lot of coffee, but I finally managed to make level 500 of Candy Crush Saga.